Hey guys, what's up? This is John Paul, and in today's video we are going to learn exercise 9.3. So we are going to start with the first question. Now before I get started, I want to tell you guys one important thing, that this whole exercise is dependent on the GP, that is the geometric progressions. So make sure that before you start this exercise you get thorough with those geometric progression sums. Now let's get started. The first question says find the 20th and the nth terms of the GP. They have given us a GP and they have asked us to find the 20th term and the nth term. Now from this GP you can find the A, that is the first term, and you can also find the common ratio by dividing the second number with the first number. Now if you do like that, you would get the A as 5 by 2, of course the first number, and the R, if you divide the second number by the first number, you get the R as 1 by 2. Now if you substitute that in the formula a r to the power n minus 1, so you get something like this one, and after you solve, then you get the answer as 5 divided by 2 to the power 20. Now in the second part they have asked us to find an, so when you substitute the formula again, then 5 divided by 2 into 1 by 2 raised to the power n minus 1. If you solve, then you get 5 divided by 2 to the power n. Now moving on to the second question. In the second question they have given find the 12th term of a GP whose 8th term is 192 and the common ratio is 2. They have given us the common ratio, they have given the 8th term. Now if you substitute, you can find the first term from that formula. A into 2 to the power 7 is equal to 192. You can make this base as 2 itself and you can find the A easily, and after finding the A you can quite easily substitute that in the formula and find the value for A12. Now moving on to the third question. The 5th, 8th and 11th term of a GP are P, Q and S respectively. Prove that Q square is equal to PS. Now before we get started, I know that you all know that if we divide this number by this number, then we get R, and if we divide this number by this number, we get R. So in all the cases R is same, so we are going to use this same method to prove this sum also. Now if you expand this a5, you get a r to the power 4 is equal to p. Similarly, if you expand the other three things, and if you divide the second one with the first one, you get r cube is equal to q divided by p, and if you divide the third one with the second one, then you get this one, r cube is equal to s divided by q. Now what you can actually do is you can equate this one and this one, because the LHS is same for both of them. So you can equate both of them, and what would happen is you would get something like this, and if you cross multiply you would get q square is equal to p into s, which is the proof which they have asked for us to prove. Now in the fourth question they have asked the fourth term of a GP is square of its second term and the first term is minus 3. Determine the seventh term. Now they have given the first term as minus 3. They have given that a4 is equal to a2 to the square. So they have asked us to find the a7. Now if you substitute, now if you find a4 separately and a2 separately, this is what you will get, and if you substitute these two in this equation, then you will get something like this, and after you equate you will get the value of r, and after getting the r you can substitute in the formula to get the value for a7. Now in the fifth question they have given us 3 subdivision, guys. Since this since the first 10 sums of this exercise is really very easy, I am not going to explain all these 3 subdivisions. If you want, you can pause the video and have a close look at the solutions. Now in the first subdivision they have given us the GP. From this GP we can determine the first term and the ratio. We know that the ratio would absolutely be 2 root 2 and the first term will be 2. Okay, now after getting that they have asked us to find what is the value for 128, that is which term in this GP is 128. So if you substitute that in the formula a into r raised to the power n minus 1, you can quite easily find the value for n. You can pause the video and have a close look if you can't understand, guys. Now moving on to the second subdivision, they have given us again the AP. Similarly, you can find the first time, you can find the ratio and you can substitute that in the formula, and then you can find the n. Now the same method applies in the third subdivision, so I am not going to explain that one. Moving on to the sixth question, for what values of x the numbers minus 2 by 7 x and minus 7 by 2. Okay, let me write the numbers. The numbers are minus 2 by 7 x and minus 7 by 2 are in GP. Okay, now we know that for applying the common ratio, we know that if we divide this one by this one, it is equal to r, and if we divide this one by this one, that is also equal to r. So you can find the r and you can equate these two terms, that is this one and this one, and you can find easily x from that. Now moving on to the next question, that is the seventh. They have given us in the question that they have given us an AP and they have asked to find the sums of the first 20 terms. From this we can find the first term in the ratio also. After finding that, this is the summation for, this is the formula for summation of a GP. Kindly note it down and by heart it. After the end, you have to substitute the value for a and r in this formula, and you can find the value for, yes, you should also substitute the value for n, which is 20, and after that you would get the value which is similar to this one. Now moving on to the eighth question, they have given us again a GP and they have asked us to find the summation till the nth term. Okay, so they have given, since they have given us a GP, we can find the first term, we can also find the ratio, and afterwards you should substitute the formula. Now in this case you should not keep any value for n, that is you should just keep it as n, and if you continue to solve it, you will get something like this one. And I suggest you all that in these types of sums, you should stop doing the solutions when you think it is enough for getting the full marks of that sum. Now if you continue to do, it's absolutely the waste of time. So moving on to the ninth question, they have given us an AP and asked us to find the summation of the n terms. Now similar to the previous question, now in the 10th question they have given us an AP and asked the summation till the n terms. Now we can find the r and the a from those values, and you can substitute that in this summation formula which I have shown you in the front, and then you can find the value for n. Now this 11th sum is kind of tricky. Now if you understand this one, this would be very easy for you guys. I will explain you step by step. Now in the question they have given us, they have given us an equation similar to this one. Now what does this actually mean? I will explain you. This means the sigma, and this sign is actually known as sigma. This actually represents the summation. Now you should take the value for k as 1. Okay, now if you take the value of k as 1, 3 to the power 1. Okay, now again, since they have given sigma, you should keep the plus sign, and what they have given us, we have to continue this until k becomes 11. Okay, so in the next step you have to take the value of k as 2, so 2 plus 3 to the power 2. Okay, now in the third step you have to take the value of k as 3. Now in this step you have to take the value of k as 4. Now you have to continue this until you get the value of k as 11. Since they have given us the 11 as the maximum number, you have to continue this as long as you get the value of k as 11. Now if you have a close look, you can see 2, 2, 2, 2. In all the 11 terms there are 2. Of course there are 11 terms, right? And so on, and till 11th term. So you can see that there are 2 11 times. So what you have to do, you have to multiply 2 11 times plus 3 to the power 1 plus 3 to the power 2 plus 3 to the power 3 plus 3 to the power 4 and so on till 3 to the power 11. Now what you can actually do, you instead of this one you can easily write it in this step in this way also. 2 to the power 11 plus summation of 11 where k is equal to 1 and 3 to the power k. Okay, now you can write that in this form also. After writing this one like this, what you have to actually do is you have to find the summation for this one. So if you take this one as the LHS, summation of 11 as k equal to 1 with the value of 3k is equal to, you have to substitute that in the formula. See guys, this formula, as I have already told you, you have to substitute that. Yeah, I already told you to by heart this formula, right? You have to substitute that in this formula. Now we know the value of a, right? See, okay, from this step I will teach you. Now the value of a is 3 and the value of r is also equal to 3, because in this equation, in this particular sequence, we are finding for this particular sequence, right? So the value of 3 would absolutely be, a would be 3 and the r would also be equal to 3. So 3 to the power 11 minus 1 divided by 3 minus 1, so which is equal to 3 divided by 2 into 3 to the power 11 minus 1, and that's what we got here. 3 by 2 into 11 minus 3 to the power 11 minus 1. Now this is the value for this one, right? This whole term, this is the value for this whole term. So if you should substitute the value for this one here. So if you substitute 2 to the power 11 plus 3 by 2 into 3 to the power 11 minus 1, we have done this in the similar manner over here, and that would be the final answer which you are getting. Now for this kind of sums you should solve it in this method, guys. I hope you understood. I hope you understood the main concept of this one also. Now moving on to the 12th question, they have given us the sum of the first three terms and they have given us the product of the first three terms. They have asked us to find the common ratio and the terms. Okay, now what they have given, now let us assume that the first three terms are these. Now if they have said that the product of these are 1, so here automatically the r would get cancelled out with this r, and a cube is equal to 1. Of course a cube is equal to 1 in the sense a is also equal to 1. Now they have given that the summation of the first three terms is equal to 39 by 10. 39 by 10. So you have found out the value of a as 1. Substitute that here and you would of course find the value of r. For finding out the value of r, you will get something like this one, a quadratic equation. If you solve that quadratic equation, you would get the value of r as this one. Since they have asked us the geometric progression and there are two common ratios for us, you have to find two ratios, two geometric progressions for them. Now in the 13th question, how many terms of GP, they have given us a GP, are needed to give the sum 20. So 120. So they have given the summation of n terms as 120. They have given us the r. Since they have given us the GP, we can find the r and a. And we can find out the n quite easily by substituting all these values in the formula. Now if we solve that sum, we get the value of n as 4. Now moving on to the 14th question. The sum of the first three terms of GP is 16. So S3 is 16 and the sum of the next three terms is 128. So now you can have a close look. A plus AR plus AR square. This is the first three terms, right? So the sum of these are 16 and the sum of the next three terms, that is AR cube plus AR to the power 4 plus AR to the power 5 is equal to 128. Now what you have to do is you have to take a common in, or you can take a common and here you can take AR common. Okay, here you can take AR cube as common. After taking that, you can get two equations similar to this one. Now what you have to do is you have to divide equation 2 by equation 1. After you divide that one, you will get the value of r, and after getting the value of r, you can substitute that and find the value of a. Over here you can substitute the value of r, and you will of course get the value of a over here. And then since they have asked to find the summation, you can apply that in the formula and find it like this. Now moving on to the next question. Given they are given us a GP and they have given us the first term, they have given us the seventh term is equal to 64. They have asked us to find the summation of the first 7 terms. Now since this is equal to a r to the power 6, you can substitute the value of a and you can find the value of r. The value of r would be 2 divided by 3. Now they have asked us to find the summation of the 7 terms, so we should substitute that in the formula, and you can find the value of that. The answer would be 2059. It is a friendly suggestion for all you guys that in this kind of sums you should use your common sense, and you should also solve all the sums correctly. You should know all the calculations properly so that you might get the correct answer. So moving on to the 16th question, find a GP. We have to find a GP. The sum of the first 2 terms is -4, and the fifth term is equal to 4 times the third term. So fifth term is equal to 4 times the third term. Okay, now you have to substitute the values for that. A5 would be, okay, let me write over here. A5 would be ar to the power 4, which is equal to 4 into ar square. So ar square would get cancelled with ar square. Now here r square is equal to 4. This would be remaining. That's what we got over here. And now we have bringing the square over here, you would get plus or minus 2. So in this sum you are getting 2 cases for the common ratio, 1 plus 2 and plus 1 minus 2. Okay, so first you are substituting and finding the GP for r is equal to 2. So for that you are getting the a value of a as -4/3. So you are finding the GP for that, and when you are substituting r as -2, then you are getting the a as 4, and after you substitute that in the GP formula, you get this one. Now moving on to the 17th question and the last question for today. If the fourth term is equal to x and the 10th term is equal to y and the 16th term is equal to z, we have to prove that x, y, z are in GP. Now this sum is really very easy. You should apply the rule of the common ratio. You should find the values for each of the values. So a4 would be ar cube, a10 would be ar9, and a16 would be ar to the power 15. Now you have to substitute that as x, y, z as they have given it equal to those. Now if you divide equation 2 by equation 1, you get the value of r, you get the value of common ratio as r to the power 6. Now if you divide equation 3 by equation 2, then you get the value r6, which is the common ratio, which is equal to z divided by y. Since this equation and this equation, this in the right hand side are equal, equating 4 and 5. Okay, you are equating the equations 4 and 5. So what you are getting, y by x, which is equal to z divided by y. Now by this we can prove controversially that x, y, z are in GP. Now that's all for today guys. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe, and please subscribe to the Studious Student. This is John Paul signing off.